Hi, Dr. Campbell. Okay, I'm just going to get right into this right away. Hope you're having a great break. So these are my research questions, which are in part included in part A. Just very quickly, these guided everything that I did. So basically, how does sexual health education work in Catholic schools, the challenges that they have. This is a predetermined theme because I expect it to be some challenges. Is it still a problem in modern times, and what supports are available? So all of that guided my memos and my writing and my transcripts and coding, my analysis. So just very quickly about the memos. I found that writing analytic memos was a critical aspect for effectively analyzing the qualitative data because it provided me with a basis for my analysis. Importantly, I ended up actually using a lot of this in my final report. The memos allowed me to document my process, what was going on. It helped me see why my codes were fitting together and allow me to better illustrate for the reader what I did to be thorough, honest, and transparent. So this is all taken from written notes and out of chronological order and put into, it's kind of coded itself in a way and put into different categories. So on to the transcripts themselves. I used a color-coded system, so highlighting. This is what worked for me. There was some other methods mentioned in the different research that I was going through as I was learning this process, but it didn't help. These helped. So this is how I did it. I highlighted everything. So for example, light blue I think is morals and ethics, and anything that was yellow was said in both interviews. Red was spirituality and emotions, and so on and so forth. Eventually things were collapsed together. So for example, blue being morals and ethics and pink being worldview were collapsed into categories. So this is the result of dozens and dozens of times of going over. Again, initially open-coded was using, but I eliminated a lot of the things I didn't feel were important. I actually started to narrow things down, and that's when some predetermined frameworks for coding came in. In that regard, I used in vivo coding, focus coding, and values coding. So this is just the legend of what everything represents. So pink is perspective, worldview, red is spirituality, emotionality, things like that. So in vivo, so basically the voice, this is important for this kind of stuff, for qualitative studies for sure. And values, I mean, the religion and spirituality is based on values. So this just seems a natural fit. These are just the codes that were combined to that I found with the in vivo with those specific types. This is the second transcript. Again, you can see all through these transcripts the various notes that I made in addition to the memos. These were really, really helpful as well. So all of this was taken together and then whittled down into two major themes that I came up with. Those themes were a result of condensing codes into minor categories first. This is just an example of how I used in vivo coding and focus coding. Again, the margin thing didn't work for me. The highlighting worked better for me. So this is communication. So focus allowed me to make some categories and again the values. So here are the condensed. So these would be codes on the bottom here, and then these are the minor categories. And then these minor categories were put into major categories, which you can see in documents, in the document section of the assignment. How I got these condensed themes and patterns was by cutting and pasting all the different codes that I felt were under those umbrellas and putting them here. And it allowed me to come up with these themes. So the first theme being barriers, what barriers teachers have when they're implementing the sex ed curriculum. So this is participant 1 and 2, and then put together into that theme. This is the values theme. So what values, how values influence their ability or influence how they're doing sexual education in the classroom. And so basically I'm just combining all these different codes into those categories and main categories and minor categories. Everything is here. which created the theme, which is presented in part A of the assignment. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. I hope it makes sense. It made sense to me. Hope you have a great break, and I'll see you in January. Okay.